a couple of moments to actually go live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the zoo. The minions with me this evening are Pop-Tart.
Hello.
And Adam.
Good evening.
And once again, as it is a Friday, and I'm back from my early Christmas as well as getting voluntold to work a shift, I'm the keeper for this evening, Sanguine. How are all of you doing tonight?
Yeah, good.
That's good to hear. How about you, Adam?
Well, I'm glad it's Friday. Going back to work after a nice little holiday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't want to
Bit
go back to
rough
work.
your first day back?
Yeah, and especially because we left work last year with like, oh shit, yeah, we're caught up and we're doing good, and our workload is pretty light. It's gonna be pretty easy peasy coming up, and all of a sudden, all this shit just started flooding like Tetris. All of a sudden, all these blocks just start falling on your screen. You're like, come on, stop sending me your shit.
Mm-hmm.
But c'est la vie.
You need people to continue breaking their shit so that you continue having business, but you want them to break it at a reasonable pace so that you aren't ever overwhelmed.
Well, okay, even at that, if we're gonna do that, um, don't send us shit that you have, anthraxed on and shed on and all this. Like, you don't have to send us your dirtiest shit. Like, Jesus. I swear I'm gonna get Ebola from this stuff.
So, at least brush out your dead skin, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, please, and remove the hair follicles and all that from the inside. How many times I've opened up a computer and there's all this dust caked into the fan? It's like, don't you people open up your systems of course not. A lot of these are like
But the
businesses.
pubes in the fan are for extra flavor, Adam.
Well, we shouldn't be getting pubes in the fan from fucking school systems.
Have you met teenagers?
I was gonna say,
Oh god. We got one actually that has a nice. It looks like they were upset that they had to give up their laptop at the end of the year, so they took a blade and they cut a nice big ol' fucking cut in the middle of the LCD.
Damn.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck, dude? But hey, you know what? Somebody still will buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just process this shit.
People are weird like that.
Yeah. So how was your vacation, sir?
I had a fantastic time. I had an amazing early Christmas. Got so much stuff from early Christmas with the family. I left my apartment here with like 40 pounds in my bags from clothing and some gifts and shit like that I was taking. When I returned, I left with 2 bags, about 40 pounds split between 2 bags. I returned with 3 bags, somewhere between 130 and 150 pounds of stuff in them. And I still didn't get everything back home.
Jeez.
are you bringing the rest later?
Some of it's being mailed out to me. Some of it's going to be coming out when a family member visits me next. Just to make it easy, because I have a meat grinder that's coming out to me that was a bit too large, and the meat grinder could only work with one of the other presents that was large enough that I had to choose which one am I taking. I'll take the one that can work by itself, not the one that needs the other one in order to work.
Makes sense.
But yeah, it was a very, very good Christmas. Got a lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of interesting stuff. I've been using some of the gifts that I've received already. Like, I got a nice, heavy, weighted blanket that I've been using to sleep every night. Those things are amazing. I recommend them.
You know,
Now
I
that
was
I've used
getting
one,
one.
oh, they are fantastic. And like I said, if you ever have trouble sleeping, try a weighted blanket, see if it works for you. It's doing an amazing job for me. So
Yeah, I just
I
gave mine to
recommend.
Angel.
Mm-hmm. They're fantastic.
She was having a hard time sleeping, and I gave it to her. And now she won't give it back.
Yep. And the rule of thumb is when you're getting a weighted blanket, about 10% of your body weight should be the blanket. If you're in between two weights for blankets, then check to see if you prefer slightly heavier or slightly lighter. For me, I prefer slightly heavier to slightly lighter. But some people, slightly heavier is too heavy.
Oh man. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I didn't even think about different weight sizes in the blanket itself. Um, but I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, you know, you'd want different adjustments for that. But
Yep.
How was your holiday, Poppy?
Oh, we didn't actually do anything yet. We're planning on getting together as a family later. It's a small family, so you know. Everybody was worried about money in December because most people that are in my family get paid differently than most. Like, don't get paid hourly.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Christmas flag hours, he gets paid like if they flag a car for 3 hours of work, he gets paid 3 hours of work no matter what, whether that car takes 30 minutes or like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I mean that sounds very nice and pleasant. Small,
So, in
small
December,
family.
people.
Well, small
Hmm?
family is better than no family, I would say.
Yeah. So, what is that noise?
And if you hear what sounds like a small jet engine, that is me using a kitchen torch.
I was just about to say, like, you were very serious when you said this wasn't the right color. Let me get the door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, he's been talking about using the torch for a little bit. I just thought he would like mute while he torches things.
No,
I
no,
wasn't
there's
kidding
a
about.
flavor in the background.
I wasn't
I'm over here
kidding.
trying to talk.
I'm gonna start worrying when I hear him humming and Pan smashing something as it's screaming.
I was just over here trying to talk, and the whole time
Yeah.
Coming out of baked a cake.
Oh, hey.
Fuck.
There. Okay, because I know. Usually we shoot the shit. And I do want to ask you about dinner, Sanguine. But
Mhm.
I had three things I did want to bring up.
Go for it.
First, what are you wearing while you're cooking that food?
Clothing.
Ah, clothing, as suspected. So, if you were to, I don't know where I was going with that, but
Yeah.
Or do I, which is why I kept
It does not go down that line of thought.
the Sanguine flamethrower. Okay, so the what I wanted to bring up was this weird like hubbub about some lady cooking a cake, and it
Oh
all went
yeah.
the thing that made okay a real quick. I'm just gonna give it a real quick little bit here. I saw it. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought all the responses were ridiculous. You know, I won't mention
so.
names, but I will. There was a point where somebody said, "Yeah, but she knows what she's doing," and it's like, wait, yeah, she's an attractive woman and she's making a cake that's messy, and that's exactly what she's doing. Like, I mean, I guess for the attention, but if you don't respond or look at her you're not giving her attention, so you're not giving her what she's asked, I guess, if that's what you're saying. But my thing was, I was like, okay, if that's the case, which I think is incredibly ridiculous and a waste of time. And I'm more angry in the fact that my brain is latching on to having to criticize these people as opposed to just going on to what actually, the real shit that's going on. But I digress. But
So
when
I
I
am lost. What is this about making a cake?
okay, so there's this lady, I can't remember her name, Isabel
She
something.
makes videos making things, and she made like a brown butter cake, but she was wearing a tight shirt. She has huge titties. People are quite offended
Yeah, they're
that she
saying
has titties.
that she didn't focus the camera just on making the cake, that
Yeah, but
because she was in it, it's like, and I look, she feels comfortable about herself. She posts pictures about herself in bikinis and shit. So it's like, yeah,
So
she's
it
gonna
wasn't even
she's
like
gonna
it was Naked Kitchen or something like that?
no.
no, she's wearing a shirt and jeans with a cross on her necklace, and people are like, "Take the cross
Yeah.
off if you're not going to dress more modestly." I'm like, "This isn't a t-shirt." Like, yeah, she is wearing a t-shirt that is actually her size, but because her breasts are so big, it's very noticeable.
Well, I mean, obviously she should remove her breasts. So I mean, that's the first thing she should have done.
No, the
No,
thing
first
is,
rule of going into a kitchen, take off your tits, set them down, you can pick them back up when you leave the kitchen.
Dude,
the thing is, the Christians that are upset is Christian women. My kids, I put this out there on the internet too. Uh, Christians, from what my daughters were told back in Sunday school, because that's around the time that started happening. Women who are blessed with large breasts need to wear shirts that are like 2 or 3 times size of them. So, like, if you wear a medium, you need to be wearing like a 1X or a 2X.
well, I mean,
So you
this is a weird
don't they
thing.
don't make the men stumble.
Well, yeah, well, that's the weird thing, is because it's like this person has. I swear I remember her, getting in a spat because people were saying conservative women aren't attractive or some shit like that, and then so she was like, no. Um, and so, like, dude, yeah, that's her shtick right now, right?
Okay.
Yeah, who cares?
Oh,
It,
yeah. Tat seems annoyed by this conversation.
but but it's like when people are sitting there, they're like, yeah, but that's what you're selling, and it's like, well, she's not selling anything. She's quite literally saying, I'm making a messy cake, right? And it was
Well,
messy because it looked
yeah.
pretty messy.
And
Um,
also, everybody's saying like the camera's more centered on her than the food. If
well,
you
yeah,
actually clicked the video, not just the Twitter crop, you could
well,
see the food the entire
yeah,
time. And honestly, most chefs shows you see the chef more often. Like that's going to be the center is the person cooking, and you can see the food. Like you
That
yes,
don't
was
just
one of
focus on the bowl.
that
well,
was one of the things about shows like or internet shows, YouTube channels like Binging with Babish. It was that Babish, rather unusually for a lot of cooking channels, the camera was set up so it was just looking at effectively his hands and the work surface.
Yeah, which is unusual. Most people show the cook and then the food,
well,
not the
hold on.
food.
But we got to remember this. She didn't do this as like, hey, I'm starting a cooking show. She's like, "Hey, I made a messy cake. Look at this cake. This messy cake I made." Like that's literally what it is. Hold on. The thing is though, right as I saw that, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is the most ridiculous, because it was after the redheaded librarian or libertarian or whatever her name is,
Yep,
and people were pissed off about her picture
libertarian.
shoot with the crucifix. It was, oh, you shouldn't be wearing a skirt like that, and then oh, you shouldn't have a crucifix in the back. Moving goalposts. This is getting on my nerves.
Yep.
But so I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, okay, she knows what she's doing. So she's making a cake, but she's presenting herself in an attractive way. So she knows what is she doing? She's trying to allure somebody. She's trying to entice somebody, right? Right as I was scrolling down from that, I ran across a video of this older lady, a little more heavier set, um, making pasta. Right, it starts off. She makes her little volcano of flour, and then she starts cracking the eggs inside it. Which, I mean, I didn't even know that's how you
Please
start.
tell me it was pasta grannies,
I don't know. No, I don't think she was a granny. She was just,
because that's another YouTube channel. It's pasta
it might
grannies.
be.
They
But
do a bunch of old-fashioned styles of pasta, where it's
but
just a bunch of Italian grandmothers and various other cultured grandmothers going, "This is how you make my cultural pasta."
well, okay, so she was making the pasta. I don't know if she was a granny or not. She didn't have gray hair, but um she was working at it, and the camera was on her and the table, because obviously you need a big table to roll out this big giant, pasta
Yeah,
thing that she's gonna make, right? The thing I was sitting there watching it, and I read one of the top comments, and it was man, I can watch this lady make pasta all day. And I'm like, yeah, dude, people making food is pretty cool. And so I'm watching it, and I noticed some though. I noticed that the top two buttons on her blouse were unbuttoned, and you can see some cleavage. And I'm like, okay, now it's either hot or she knows what she's doing. She's not just rolling pasta, okay? She's craving that attention. She wants you to look at her cleavage as she's rolling that pasta. Okay? She's making them noodles. You know exactly what she's want.
some noodles get soft when you cook them. Some noodles get hard when they get heated.
She wants it al dente, dude. Ow. Shouldn't have smacked no. No, but that's how ridiculous it is. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
it's what? Okay, so some person is making food, and you can see her figure. I think it says a lot more about you when you're sitting there like, oh, could you be a little bit more modest? Uh, why are you taking time to fucking say shit? This is go about your day, sir.
And
Like, what the
again,
fuck?
it would be one thing if it was like naked cooking. That is a thing. I want to say it's Naked Kitchen or some shit like that. That was something that came out a while ago, where it was an attractive woman who did a shit ton of videos that were Naked Kitchen makes, and it was a woman wearing an apron. That's it. Making various foods.
Hey, real quick, I gotta welcome everybody in chat. Plague, Tucker, Zach, Cannibalistic Wizard, Rotten Corpse, and Mash. Hey, Mash, happy birthday! You had a birthday, I think, the other day, Sunday. It was a day ago. But she did say, "Hey, Zoo. So talking about boobs is what you call a return to form." And yes, especially when we're cooking with boobs. Oh no!
That made it sound like you're putting a pot of water between two tits
Well, okay, hold on.
in
Starting
order
with
to
what
heat
we were
up the
talking
pot of
about
water.
earlier, where it was you got to take your tits off before you get in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could see that, but my thought went to the Three Stooges. A couple of boobs in the fucking kitchen.
true.
See, people think differently, right? When I see a lady cooking a messy cake, but she's got boobs, I'm not sitting there thinking, "Oh man, she's doing this just so I can jerk off." I'm like, "No, she's making a fucking cake."
She
Okay,
might be. It depends on
it could
where
be,
it is.
but you know what?
That,
If I don't jerk off to her, I don't give her that power.
and also, it depends on where it is and what the person's shtick is.
Yeah, yeah, but at
Because
the end of the day,
if
it's like,
I see certain women that are, if they do a cooking channel, then I'm going, okay, so are they dressed? Oh yeah, they're dressed sexily. Okay, this is meant to be masturbatory material, because
sexually.
that's how the woman sells herself when it comes to what she does. But then there's others that I'm going, oh yeah, she's an attractive woman. But the point of this is not, look how sexy I am. It is just, oh yeah, she's an attractive woman. And there's a world of difference between those two. And it depends on who's producing the material. If it's someone that they're constantly selling sex, then yeah, I'm going to assume that they're trying to be sexy, because that's what their entire brand is. If it's someone that just happens to be attractive, and that isn't the point of what they're doing, then I'm going to just go, oh yeah, they're attractive. Moving on.
Okay, so would okay, I don't really like. I don't like. Oh, okay. Let me explore and do some super deep research into this stuff. I just look through some of the replies and stuff and see what's going on. And it's like, this is fucking retarded.
Yeah, like I said.
But would hold on? Would
with the example that I gave of
well,
the
no,
example that I gave of Naked Kitchen. Naked Kitchen, it was meant to be sexy, but it was also a cooking show. And you know it was meant to be sexy because Naked Kitchen also, if I remember correctly, did have content on other sites where it was the same video without an apron.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That's
so
meant to be sexy. It's
would you-
also
Which is
meant to make you
dangerous.
hungry.
So what would you say about that one food channel lady who had the big tits that everybody was like, oh my god, I gotta. I just remember she was like one of those. Yo, remember?
Are you talking about Giada?
I have no idea what her name is.
The one with the massive fucking head?
She had an odd shaped head. Yes.
It was just way too big for her body. She was attractive as all hell. Her head was like the size of her torso.
Her tits were big.
Her tits were huge as well.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
But her
that might
head
have been
was...
her. I don't know. I just remember
she looked like a bobblehead with massive tits.
Yeah. But she had a show. Are we to look at this and be like, the only reason she has that show is because she's flaunting them titties? It's like,
Yeah,
or
to me, it's...
I mean, or she's just a fucking show host. Do you watch it or not? Like, what the fuck?
Okay, I don't agree with Rotten Corpse in the chat. The whole sex and food thing. I get that combination, like being sex and cooking. I do not, because that is dangerous and how you burn a nipple off.
Ew. Well, not only that,
I can understand it, and it's... You have to be careful with what you're cooking.
No,
you don't
hold on.
fry bacon in the buff.
This is a very bad slippery slope towards sexy feeding mukbug people. Okay, we don't need this going on.
You don't fry bacon in the buff, but if you're icing a cake, sure, whatever. That's not going to be something that you're going to get burned.
But the baking of the cake, you should wear something.
Baking of the cake you can do in the buff as well.
We're talking about the cooking, not the decorating, like the cooking of things.
Baking of the cake you could do in the buff as well, though, because again, it isn't, you're dealing with hot oil. Okay,
well, you remember what you were talking about before we got on, how you accidentally grab things without thinking about how hot they are?
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing that, dropping it, it goes down your front?
I don't grab things with my chest. It's not
but if you grab it and you drop it and it goes down your legs and you're not wearing pants.
Yeah, that becomes the #1 episode, though.
Yeah, but I also cook with... I don't always wear long pants when cooking. It's not like if I'm wearing shorts for a day, I go, hold on, I'm about to cook. Let me throw on my long pants. I don't even do that when I'm deep frying.
No, but I'm sure you're at least wearing underwear.
Yeah. Because normally...
kind of a pause there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Because normally I'm clothed when cooking.
No, all Sanguine wears is his salt pouch.
My salt pouch and an apron, Adam.
Okay.
Salt pouch and an apron.
There you go. See, and that's the one criticism I would have given this lady is you should have worn an apron, even if you wanted to tighten it up and to still show off your figure.
I was really
that was a messy cake.
I was
I never wear
to
apron.
say that you should have worn a salt pouch.
Oh God!
Well, you don't put
that was your one complaint. You at least wear a salt pouch. That was my problem with her. She didn't have a salt pouch.
Honestly,
how am I supposed to take a cook seriously if they aren't wearing a salt pouch?
Jesus fuck. Honestly, I've never worn an apron ever. I end up covered in flour and everything all the time. I just change my shirt when I'm done.
Yeah, you just change your shirt or wash that shit. Or if it's just flour and it's not wet flour, you just slap yourself a couple times and it comes off.
Like we had an apron in the house for a short period of time, and that was because Willow, when she was 16, got an apron, and then like it was used 5 times, and then never again. Like,
Got a lot of naked cooks.
yeah,
Yeah,
we wear clothes. It's not a.
it's one of those things that, like I said, there's certain things that, yeah, it's ill-advisable to cook them
Naked
while in the buff. There's
do
other things that, if you want to cook them naked, go ahead, cook them
for
naked.
you in the
I don't recommend deep frying when in the buff. I don't recommend frying bacon in the buff. But if you're making a cake batter and then whacking it into an oven, who the fuck cares?
Stare it is.
I don't know. I'm very against naked people in a general sense, so I can't really be in this topic too much. I feel like people should always be wearing clothes.
That would make
Yeah.
certain actions really difficult.
Hi.
Showering becomes a lot messier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're showering, okay, directly after a shower, okay, there are certain things you should be naked for, but you
Taking
don't
a
have to
shit
stay
suddenly
naked.
a hell of a lot more of a mess if you're wearing pants.
Well, okay, like you're still wearing the pants, you just pull them down. Do you
Not,
take your
not,
pants completely off to take a shit, Sanguine?
not,
If
not,
I'm
it, not
taking
if
a
you have a
shit, they're
shit
down at
tree.
my ankles. I don't count ankle pants as being on.
Sanguine.
But they're still on, they're on your legs.
Sanguine. If you have a shit tree like our good
A
pal
pant
from up north.
shitting tree, yeah.
Yeah.
A pant shitting tree.
You don't
It's
have to
not
worry
just
about
a
that.
shitting tree, it was a pant shitting tree.
Oh yeah.
It is the tree behind which he would go to shit his pants.
Yep. I'm not saying it's
Because that is the
I'm just-
only way that a pant shitting tree becomes a thing. If it was the tree that you dump your shit out of your pants, if you happen to shit your pants, it wouldn't be a pant shitting tree. Pant shitting tree implies that you're going behind it in order to shit your pants.
All right, to change the subject, my oven exploded last night.
Oh.
Like literally.
Your oven exploded?
It blew the fuck up.
Do you have a gas oven?
No, that's the scary part.
How did it blow up?
Okay, so I was making breakfast for dinner because Chris really likes that, and I went. He texted that he was heading to the store and then coming home. So that's why a lot of times when you invite me, I say I have to see how dinner's going because Chris can come home anytime between 7 and like midnight, depending on when he leaves work. So I make dinner whenever he's coming home. And I turned on the oven to like 350. I turned around, put the pan down. I put foil on my pan when I cook biscuits, and then I turned around, and the window in the oven was bright orange and making a sound. So I turned it off, and the fire eventually died down. I opened it up. The element in my stove just like broke in half, and like sparks were flying. And
Oh, I had a heating element go on me. It didn't go quite so spectacularly as yours did. Mine, I just was going to bake a potato, and I let my oven preheat for a while. Then I opened the oven door, and I saw that just one part of the heating element was bright, and then the other part just kind of thunked down as it melted that section of the heating element.
Yeah, there was like pieces of the element were like on other sides of the oven and shit. Like when it decided to, it really did it. And like, yeah, I don't get why. I called maintenance. They came over and he was like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. I just did what I normally do."
Nobody got hurt, right?
No. Luckily, the fire, I kept the oven door closed so that it would die off. So luckily, it's okay. No other parts of the oven caught fire, and I was panicking a bit because that's scary when it happened because it just made this really loud noise, and then like the whole oven looked like a nuclear bomb went off in it or something. It was very bright, but yeah, they're either going to replace the element or get us a whole new stove, and I'm hoping for new stove. Because I don't trust that one anymore.
Like I said, I've had a heating element go, not spectacularly like that. My heating element was literally just, I watched it melt itself. Which, watching it melt itself was interesting, because I've never seen a heating element do that.
Yeah, like I've never seen one just blow up for no reason. Like it literally, pieces were all over the place in the oven. I've had one burn out before, and like you said, it just kind of like broke off and kind of melted, and it was a weird scenario. I've seen that once before, and then now I have one that just decided to explode for no reason.
Yeah, did yours that kind of melt do the same weird droopy melt and then snap?
Yeah, kind of. Well, at least part of it did, not like the whole thing, just like a little piece of it did, where
Yeah,
it just
it
kind of
was-
like drooped.
One area, it droops until it snaps, and then whatever part was just disconnected by that snap just kind of falls into the bottom of the oven.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping this is a very old stove, so I'm hoping they get us a new one. The maintenance man was really good friends with my grandmother when she was alive. So he was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell them I think it's a safety hazard and we should just get you a whole new stove." I'm like, "Yeah, that would be, I would be very appreciative, because this thing is being more trouble than it's worth."
Yeah, the last time that I got a new stove was when one of the burners, it started with one of the burners and then it started to cascade to the other burners. They would, if you turn them up to medium, go to like high plus 12, because it reached the point where if I had it on medium, it would burn the seasoning off cast iron.
Yeah.
And the bottom of the cast iron would start glowing.
Yeah, I had one like that too. Like just at random, it would go up super high for no reason. And it's like, I have you on a 2. Why are you like glowing orange?
Why are you trying to melt my cast iron? What the fuck's going on with you?
We had a big fire because of that fucking stove. I was trying to make French fries, and I turned around for a second and I heard whoosh behind me, and I turned around and the fire was really high because the oil caught fire. The burner decided to be on super high. And yeah, the funniest thing about that whole scenario is I had an empty water bottle next to it. I did not know that water bottles would fly around the room if they were next to a fire. I just drank up like a regular Ozarka water bottle. I drank it, I sat it down, and then the fire started, and I'm trying to find a lid to put on the fire. And then the water bottle smacked me in the face and was kind of just like bouncing around the room. And I'm like, what the fuck? My whole stove's on fire. The vent above my stove was on fire, and this water bottle's just bouncing around the kitchen. And the firefighters were like, "Yeah, that could happen sometimes." And I'm like, "What?"
So I'm guessing it was a metal water bottle?
No, it's just a regular plastic Ozarka water bottle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to, I originally went, oh, it had a massive pressure change.
Well, I mean, it only makes sense. I mean, we're getting explosions in Roosevelt, New York. We're getting planes catching on fire in Japan and an earthquake in Japan.
And my oven exploded.
And your home oven explodes.
I guess I should be lucky it was inside the oven and not anywhere else, right?
Well, and in 2024, right? This year? I don't know what year it is.
Yes, it's 2024. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah,
That is the year.
Well, I'm glad everything turned out okay, right? Outside of
So I mean, I can't use my oven until they decide what they're doing with it. But other than that, yeah, it took me a minute to calm down because, like I said, I've had a few big fires. Like when I was a kid, we had a gas water heater and it exploded.
Oh, fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't actually see that. Apparently, I slept through the explosion and I got thrown out a window while I was sleeping. So I woke up being chunked out the window.
That's a hell of a wake-up call.
Yeah.
My mom was supposed to catch me, but I don't know why my stepdad trusted her with that. She did not. But yeah, I saw the outside aftermath of it because, like, apparently part of it actually shot through the roof, so there's like shit falling from the sky, and it was weird. So I don't trust gas. When you asked if my stove is gas, I'm like, no, I don't trust gas things anymore. I try not to live in places with gas stuff. We do have a big gas water heater because this is an old building, but it's like on the other side of the apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
So if it blows up, it's taking out those people, not me.
Yeah, I asked if it was gas because I thought someone might have turned on the oven without sparking it.
Mm-hmm. And just left it running for a bit.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the next time that someone sparked it, it still had the gas inside, and
Yeah, if I move back to a house again, I want to get one of those glass, not glass, but the flat electrical tops. The ones without the burners.
the induction.
Yeah, I want one of those again. I had one of those in our last house. And
I hate those.
why?
Junction.
Because you can't use cast iron on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could see that.
Why not?
Yeah.
The cast
Because
iron doesn't take
There's several
meter.
different things that cause issues when you use a glass top induction.
Take it.
There's other types of inductions. You can have a metal top induction, but a glass top induction, normally the metal ones are the small burners that you can get, but a glass top induction, the carbides that naturally form when you're making cast iron scratch the ever-living shit out of the glass tops.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Also, the weight of the cast iron will eventually cause that glass top to just shatter. So you have to be careful with how much weight you have on them. You have to be careful with what type of cookware you have. So
Yeah.
I just hate them.
To be honest, I haven't used cast iron other than to hit people with in a while, so I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I could get that though, but I like them because, like, with the older ones, like you have to lift up the top to clean underneath it, and you have the whole drip pan things, and there's a lot of. Seems like it causes a lot of electrical problems. I've been shocked by my stove before; they catch fire. I never had any issues with the glass top one. It was fine. The oven was fine. The glass top was fine. Of course, it was newer. Like I said, I live in old apartments, so it could just be these stoves are like running the course of their life and trying to murder us.
Probably is. They do have a shelf
Good
life.
old days.
And if your apartment complex is anything like mine, you tend to get refurbished rather than new.
Yeah, it's a 30-year-old stove, but it's been refurbished.
Oh.
And then the refurbishing's a bunch of wires hanging out of underneath the top that have like caps on them. And every time I open that and I have to clean under it, I'm so scared to hit those. Like, I know technically they should be safe, but like I said, I've been electrocuted by it before. So I'm a little traumatized. I don't trust those ghetto wires. I don't. So yeah, but no, that was the most stitching. Oh well, okay. So also, I haven't been on in a while. We live in the city we live in is on a fault line, and we have a sinkhole. Apparently, we had a new one open up underneath our bathtubs, and it took our drains with it. So neither of our bathtubs had drains. One of them looked like it was attached still, but it turns out it wasn't. So when they went into my bathroom, because I'm like, yo, the drainage pipe is not attached to our tub at all anymore. They came in and they lifted it up and they went, hey, neither bathroom. And I'm like, shit, because our bathrooms are made where they're back to back. So both the drains go to the same hole. They're like, yeah, no, there's a hole and both the pipes are not attached to anything anymore. There's a lot of water. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So we had that go on where they had to come in and do one bathroom and then come in and do the other bathroom. And there was like jackhammering and
No. Oh,
Mhm.
that's it.
yeah, it was not fun. And we couldn't use that. Like we had 2 days where we couldn't use the shower at all
Ew.
because
Mhm.
sinkholes. It's so funny because the maintenance man is like, "Are you planning on renewing?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know because occasionally we can hear like wood in our walls snapping,
Oh
and
shit.
our bathtub's trying to fall into a hole. I get the feeling we might not
Mhm.
because you aren't really doing much about the whole us moving underground thing. I don't feel like showering with Satan anytime soon,
Mm.
so I think we might be moving."
Have you tried the troglodyte lifestyle yet, though?
I just they're very nonchalant about the buildings are moving and falling into the ground. They're just kind of like, "Oh yeah, we'll have someone check it in a couple months." But it's like, um, how about we just fix the foundation now? Like that, you know,
Mhm.
we know there's a foundation problem. Why don't we fix it? But yeah, so I told them I'm sorry I have to keep calling because the first time they thought they were already out here for something because a crack opened up in Angel's bathroom and water was coming down from the bathtub above hers. So they were trying to fix that when I called to say, "Hey, I know you just closed this, but we now don't have drains."
Mhm.
Oh,
And then like less than a week later, I'm like, "Hey, my oven exploded."
Mhm.
I'm like, "I'm sorry, I have to keep calling y'all." And the maintenance man's like, "Hey, you pay rent. If you didn't pay rent, I wouldn't have a job." So yeah, it works.
Mhm.
He's like, you call whenever anything happens. I'll come out. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's been a busy week with the foundation and the plumbing, and God knows why my oven decided to, try to kill itself. I
That
was just
definitely
making
is an
biscuits.
eventful week.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially for me. Nothing really goes on in my life anymore. Like I said, I leave the house like once a week.
Mhm.
I don't do anything. Like I cook and I clean, and then I'm just here.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying the hermit life of not talking to people unless I really want to. And
And Rotten says that he's sure the crab or mole people will gladly welcome you to your new
yeah,
troglodyte lifestyle.
More people.
I
More people.
I really don't want to be underground just yet. I mean, honestly, with the skin condition, it would probably be better down there. But
Mhm.
I'm not, especially showing up naked. No.
You know, be part of the Morlocks? Weren't they underground people? And they're X-Mans.
And showing up naked, what were you cooking?
Oh no, you're cooking for the Morlocks?
Ugh. We've already established how I feel about nudity, and this is not how I want to be introduced to
No,
underground
no, no,
humans.
no, no, no. Like Mash said, this is the return to form. More boobs. Oh, waka
Mhm.
waka.
I'm too old for that.
What? Everybody loves a Three Stooges show.
I meant the
Carlton.
boobs.
Oh, the boobs. Yeah. Well, some of them birds can get really annoying. Oh,
And
you
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 said,
mean titties and sunglasses. Wazzas.
and Poppy, you worked at a nursing home. You know there's no too old for tits.
The question is
That's
how
true.
long for the tit? Oh no, that's an age.
Depends how old and are they rolled up yet.
I
Well,
have to unveil
honestly,
them like the scrolls from Alexandria.
if you're from someone who takes care of people that are well into their hundreds, I will tell you, depending, the actual thing that defines whether a woman's boobs are down by the belly button or up high is how big they were when she was younger. If she had huge tits, they're going to be around the crotch.
Ooh, she's gonna be wearing
It
around her
depends
belt.
on the size and also how they handled them.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Also,
confuse them for her salt pockets.
and how much muscle you have around your chest area. So
Yep.
if it's like a bitch who lifted weights, probably going to be a lot better than the one who just, free winged it all the time.
They'll be nice and perky.
Well, I mean, on good days. Oh my god. That was so stupid, dude. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Work out if you don't want your tits at your ankles.
Nah, I was.
Yep. Now, for men, I'm sorry, your nuts will be around your knees no matter what.
When you get to a certain age. But
Yeah. It's very difficult to sit on the toilet anymore. But, yeah. I've about 70-ish.
like I said, though, you worked in an old folks' home. You know there's no such thing as too old for tits. That's the reason why they're the fastest growing STD rate.
My very first story that I tell people from long, long ago, like 20 years ago when I started caregiving, was this one woman. She wanted to walk around naked all the time. And we had to try to convince her to put clothes back on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, there are men here. And she's like, if they haven't seen a naked woman by this point, they should be thanking me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, I mean, I get your point, but they get mad at us when you're naked, okay? She's like, oh, fine. I was like, you're going to get me in trouble. I'm going to get written up because you won't put clothes on. That's the only thing that worked, because if you try to shame her in any way, she's like, fuck you. I'm 89 years old. I can do whatever I want to. She also used to climb on chairs and try to climb up trees and shit. Fucking old people don't get two fucks.
I think we can draw the line when she has fruit roll-up tits. or fruit by the foot.
No, it's like roll your own cigarettes.
Oh god.
Lick them, tap them down to seal them.
No.
Oh,
I love it.
my favorite thing is the women who didn't have breasts anymore and they had those fake ones you stick in the bra.
Yep.
The prosthetic boobs that they give the older women. I literally had women walk up and go, hey, I think I left my tits in the laundry basket. Can I have them back real quick? I don't want you to wash those. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, let me go find your boobs.
See, like I said, they knew that when you go into the kitchen, you take off your tits, you leave them at the door.
See?
Sometimes you forget them in the laundry basket.
We were only spitting facts. I don't know what else to say. Oh, hey,
it
Johnny.
all comes back
Chris.
around.
Hey, I'm gonna take a quick pause and go check out my toaster to make sure that it's not gonna explode. So I'll be right back.
I keep checking stuff in the house now, like even the air fryer. I don't know why I think I have anxiety, so my brain's like, kitchen's gonna be on fire now. Like I cleaned it all up because there was smoke and shit, and I don't like the smell. So I was up all last night getting that all cleaned up, and I unplugged the stove and pulled it all the way out to the middle of the kitchen because I'm just like, I am not risking shit.
Mm-hmm.
But
as long as you clean them, air fryers are pretty fucking safe, though.
Yeah. We just have a dinky one. I like the little basket ones because, you could do, just make a handful of, fries or something real quick and not worry about it. But I have been thinking about getting a bigger air fryer sometime soon. No. Everybody says they love them. It's, yeah. But I don't know if it's worth spending the money on.
Yeah, I know a lot of people absolutely love them. I get why they like them. The one problem that I have is that despite being called an air fryer, it isn't really an air fryer. It's
Yeah, it's
just
like an oven.
a very small oven with
Fans.
a convection oven. It
Yeah.
has the fan going so that it has nice consistent heating, but there's a far cry between that and frying.
I mean, I get that. It's just a cool name to be catchy, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's what is it? Superheated air or something like that.
Because a more technical, toaster oven wouldn't have sold as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, my last interaction with the air fryer, because we got an air fryer at work, and
Mm-hmm.
so I got myself some microwave burritos
Mm-hmm.
to eat for lunch, and I tossed one in, and yeah, it looked good on the outside, but dude, it was a fucking Encino Man moment. It was, I was like, oh, dude, yeah, this is nice, and then I fucking bit into it, and it was icicle in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Uh, like I said, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't even own a microwave anymore because like they kept breaking. They're cheap now, but they also just break super easy. So we don't have a microwave. We have a little air fryer and then our stove and oven. And a crock pot. I own a crock pot. So
Crock pot. I knew a dude who would cook everything in a crock pot. Who would just toss everything in there. It's like, yeah, this is gonna be a good meal. And it's like, dude, I don't even. It's just
yeah, you
stew.
can make something. Well, you can make other stuff in crock pots and stew.
Well, he was a
No, I
pot.
know that's what he was doing, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You can make pot roast.
You can cook
Yeah,
up
you can
a.
make pot roast. I've made chicken in there, pasta dishes,
Oh, hey.
queso.
Speaking of which, Sanguine,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever had my boss got me some beers because he went back home to Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and he brought back some beers for the crew, and this one is from what, Four Peaks Brewing Co. Have you ever heard of this beer called Kilt Lifter?
I have not had that one, but I have heard of Four Peaks Brewing.
Yeah,
Yeah, let me look at the Kilt Lifter. I'm guessing it's a Scottish ale by the name.
yeah, Scottish style amber ale,
Yep.
malty, toasted, and love.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I love you, Dove. Um, but but yeah, no, I tried it. It was pretty good. I got one left, and I really want to eat it with a meat. What do you think a good what do you think would be a good pairing for this?
Well, there's a number of different things that you could do. So, if you want something really easy, do a pot roast.
Okay, well, you're talking to Adam. I don't know how to cook. I eat
So,
hardtack.
so a pot roast is you grab a fairly low quality piece of meat. There's a few different cuts, but one of the main pot roast is the bottom round or chuck roast, are two really common pot roasts. So you throw that into like a 225, 250-degree oven with some beef broth, potatoes, carrots, whatever things you want to throw in. You just kind of bung everything into a pot. And then you whack that into the oven. You let it cook for like 6+ hours. You pull out the meat, it should be ridiculously tender. Then you just kind of either shred it up or you can cut it, put that in a bowl, put in some of your potatoes, some of your carrots, and whatever else you threw in into the bowl. You can reduce the broth if you want. You don't have to. You can just forego it or just spoon a little bit of that over top. You can thicken it, you can reduce it, you can do a bunch of other things with it, but that's going more above and beyond. And then have yourself a beer with it. Pot roasts are one of the easiest things to make.
Well, I might just have to try that out. Give the last brew a send off proper.
Because yeah, you can do all kinds of different things with pot roasts, and if you want to get fancy, you can get fancy with pot roast. If you want to keep it simple, you can keep it simple with pot roast.
Well,
Hell, you don't even need to use broth to make a pot roast. It tastes better if you use broth, but you don't need to use broth.
what
You can
else
just
would you
splash in
use?
water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do a pot roast with just water. It doesn't taste as good as when you use broth, or you can use beer. Those are amazing. You can use
Whoa,
wine.
wait. So what if I use this beer in the pot roast?
Then you wouldn't be able to drink it with, but it would taste pretty good. Yeah.
That would suck. Yeah. Oh man.
But
So
if you get another beer,
well,
and it
I
could
don't know if
just
I'm
be,
ever gonna go to Arizona.
well, you don't have to get another of that beer. You can just get another beer.
Oh, right.
And
Right.
you can use that beer in the pot roast and then have your beer as your drink with it. Yeah, pot roasts are ridiculously easy to make. Johnny says anyone can cook a pot roast and not screw it up. You can even use ramen seasoning packets. And yeah, you can actually use ramen seasoning packets to
Ew.
flavor your pot roast. All you do is you take the seasoning packet out of like a beef ramen, and then you sprinkle that on the meat after you've seared it up and thrown it in the pot. Sprinkle that on, dump in your liquid, and it seasons the liquid.
Wait, you use the seasoning? I don't usually use the seasoning with ramen.
Oh, you don't use the seasoning packet in the ramen?
No.
Are you just eating hot ramen noodles?
I add tuna to it sometimes. But yeah, other than that, yeah, just noodles.
You're just raw dogging some noodles. Okay. So
I told you I have like I'm if it's not that I'm objective to the notion of fine dining. It's just, bro, if I'm gonna eat something, I'm not gonna. Okay, noodles, fine, that works.
yeah, you're just having some nudes, and that's a bit strange, but okay, you do you.
Well, it is strange because they have told me at work a few times that you cannot be naked while you're cooking your noodles in the kitchen, and I said, look, they told me to get naked in the kitchen. Now I got to get naked in the kitchen.
Naked Kitchen is a thing. Like I said, I'm not sure if Naked Kitchen is still running, but I remember it being a thing back when like Minions started because someone brought up that they saw a Naked Kitchen episode and they're going, "What the fuck is this?" So then I looked into it and I went, "Oh shit, it's a thing."
Well, when you guys were talking about baking cakes, all I can think about was, or yeah, the first thing that popped up in my mind was um those cake making shows where it
Mm-hmm.
was pretty much they would make a foundation in cake, but the rest of it was fondant.
Yeah, those fondant bits are bullshit. Fondant is edible Play-Doh. It's horse shit.
And you don't even bake it though.
Yeah, I don't like fondant. I like proper icings.
Tier. What the fuck is wrong with your taste buds? And no, Poppy might have, stepped out for personal reasons. Um, but no, this is, like I said, it's not. I just I don't. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I look at it at the bare bones minimum. Like, oh shit, I'm hungry. Basic thing that I can get. Let's go for that. I'm not thinking like, oh man. Sometimes I do think that, like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about this. Oh, actually, I tried Chick-fil-A for the first time today.
Pretty good, right?
No.
You don't like Chick-fil-A? Okay, I'm now siding with Tier. What the fuck's wrong with your taste buds?
Okay, hold on. I don't know if it might have just been this location. Let's give it that benefit of a doubt. I'm a troubleshooter. Th- We'll chalk that up, right? Um, first time I've been there, I kind of wanted to try the spicy sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, yeah, let's just go for the grilled sandwich, the basic grilled sandwich. Um, and it came in this bread that was like vanosing apart as I'm eating it. Like it was constantly just evaporating. And the chicken, I don't mean to give praise to Wisconsin, but Culver's gives you a good cut of chicken for their chicken sandwich, dude.
Oh yeah, Culver's is fantastic.
Chick-fil-A, I was expecting a little bit more. Um,
I think you went to a bad Chick-fil-A somehow. I didn't know there were bad
I
Chick-fil-A's.
well, I mean, like I said, I was ho hum with it. I was looking at it, and I'm like, the sauce. What was it? I think it was like avocado lime. That was pretty good. Um, but yeah, no, because I went with coworkers for lunch, and uh, and it's literally you turn right for Chick-fil-A or you turn left for uh Raising Cane's, and I like Raising Cane's is pretty good. It's just it makes you feel really bad after you eat it. There's something weird with it. And the sauce is even weirder. I don't know what the fuck it is. And I
Just
don't.
that description, it makes you feel real bad after eating it. Just made me think they're spiking it with depressives.
There's something in it,
You
but
have a bite, and it's just like, what's the point of life anymore?
but no, it's
Everything sucks.
but there's a lot of people that go there. The same
Oh
with
yeah,
Chick-fil-A. I always see the place packed.
oh yeah. I
Um,
like Chick-fil-A and I like Raising Cane's. If I want a chicken sandwich or I want chicken tenders, and I'm on a road trip, those are going to be my go-tos for chicken.
oh yeah, definitely. I
They're
mean,
still dressed up fast food, so it's not like I'm ever going, you know what, I want to get that for dinner tonight. It's always, I'm on the road, I need something to eat. Ooh, there's a Chick-fil-A.
well, that's the thing though. I always hear the like all the hubbub about oh, welcome
Hey,
back.
puppy.
Hey, sorry, I got a phone call.
See, I told
No,
you
we
it wasn't
thought that
anything
you were
bad.
just disgusted by Adam's nudes.
I didn't. There's no nudes.
No, there are nudes. Adam doesn't use the flavor packet on his ramen.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I might add Parmesan cheese to it, or some ketchup. Oh no, I didn't say that.
No, my
That
lord.
is, that
um,
is horrendous.
I
Unless
think
you're
I
doing
think
like a Japanese Neapolitan,
oh,
not the ice cream. They have a spaghetti that they call Neapolitan spaghetti, which uses ketchup.
and ramen.
Not ramen, it uses spaghetti noodles. But if
Oh,
you were
okay.
making a spin off of a Neapolitan with ramen noodles, that wouldn't be entirely wrong. It wouldn't be right. There'd still be something wrong with you for doing it, but it wouldn't be completely fucked.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, hold on. Speaking of taste buds, because you know what? I guess Tyr doesn't want to be friends. I don't know who we is. Who's we, Tyr? Um, okay, so I've been getting into this thing where it's like I like a lot of ice. I fill my I have a big mug at work and I fill it with ice, and then I put the filtered water in it,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a bag of ice before, but I was running out, and I was like, okay, shit, I gotta get another one. I saw that there was an ice tray already in the freezer, so I looked and I'm like, okay, so there's some ice. I'll use this for the time being, and I pop one in, and I don't know if somebody used like they sprinkled some garlic in the fucking water. I mean, it did look odd, and I was kind of questioning it, but I was like, I still want ice in my fucking water.
That is a common way of preserving garlic for a longer period of time.
Well, okay, well they should put a note in the fucking work refrigerator, right? I would think.
Yeah, if you're making garlic ice, you should at least put a heads up. This is garlic ice.
Yeah, because I pop it in and my fucking container got contaminated, and I was drinking water, but then all of a sudden I was like, refreshing. Ooh, garlic. Ooh, garlic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would mind garlic water. I like garlic.
No,
Oh, I love garlic, but
yeah,
I'm not sure if I want to drink garlic
yeah. It was a cruel thing.
unless it's in a soup.
Yeah,
I could drink a garlic soup.
or no, fresh garlic, roasted garlic on a pizza, dude.
Yep. Hell, I have a ramekin of confit garlic that I'm currently making.
Really?
Yeah, I need to make some more of that sometime soon.
Yeah. I just have
It's
a
great on
ramekin. I
toast.
smashed like 4 bulbs of garlic, peeled all the garlic, threw it into the ramekin, then grabbed some good butter, threw the butter on top, whacked that into the oven, let it sit at like 225 for a few hours. Comes out amazing.
Yeah, I always use olive oil,
Olive oil works.
but butter works too.
Yep. Yeah, you can use olive oil, you can use butter, you can use lard, tallow, a combination thereof. If you really wanted to, you could use coconut oil.
I heard
Yeah, that seems weird though.
coconut oil and coconut water is really good too.
Coconut oil is good for cooking certain things, and coconut water is good for rehydrating.
And coconut is delicious.
Yep.
Yeah, see, there's that for taste buds. And I like pineapple. And asparagus is pretty good. Spinach.
Mm-hmm.
I like garlic. Yeah, see, I got taste buds. The fucking. Yeah, I got taste buds.
Was anyone accusing you of not?
Because I guess I don't use
Because
the
of his
ramen packets.
nudes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Chicken flavoring, the ramen flavoring tastes weird to me, so I don't like it.
like all of them, or
Yeah,
maybe you just don't like really salty stuff.
I mean, possibly. I mean, I don't know. I like the soy sauce. Isn't that salty?
Certain
I mean,
ones
yeah,
are-
but like it has a lot of other flavor to it too. It's not just salty.
certain ramen packets, yeah, I don't like the flavor. The chicken one, I'm kind of ambivalent about. The shrimp is god awful.
Yo, yeah, and especially if they add lime to it. Ooh, yeah.
The beef ones, those are pretty good. The originals tend to be pretty good.
Yeah, I used to love the beef when I was pregnant with Willow. I drank so much chocolate milk and had beef ramen constantly.
Eee.
That's a strange combo.
So much beef ramen and chocolate milk. Not like mixed
Chocolate
together,
milk?
but you know.
Like
I
as
should
like
have
you're
hoped
drinking
not. That would
alongside,
be
right?
god
Yeah, I
awful
was
if you made a bowl of beef ramen and then dumped in a pint of chocolate milk.
Yeah, I was just drinking chocolate milk constantly, and I also ate beef ramen.
That would be a. Well, I mean, I'm sure we'll see a TikToker doing that someday. Um,
And even
uh,
if I did, I was pregnant, so I would have that excuse.
Yep.
Rotten Corpse said you should try sriracha ramen. Um, Sriracha, that's the rooster hot sauce, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that I don't like that stuff. I'm sorry. I'm in terms of hot sauce, I am very faithful, and Cholula is the only hot sauce for me.
Have you tried Crystal?
I have.
Did you not like it or just prefer Cholula?
I prefer Cholula.
Okay. There's a difference between not liking it and just preferring.
Yeah,
I was
no, yeah.
curious which way it went.
I can't eat any hot sauce, so.
We're not talking about onions here.
I'd laugh if I looked at a bottle of Cholula and saw that there were onions in it.
Yep, there is.
I thought that there might be.
Waka waka.
But yeah, Cholula's good.
Yeah, it's
I
good stuff.
tend to match my hot sauce with what I'm cooking.
I mean, typically, if I'm gonna add anything, it's usually like that green salsa that I get from the local grocer. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's not really a name to it. It's just salsa verde. Wow, that was a very.
Yep. That was a very white way of saying salsa verde.
Well,
I think
he did say he doesn't speak Spanish. Now we know it's true.
I think you might have just become an honorary Kyle.
Wait, hun? Well, what's a Kyle?
It's
Can you
a
think
very
of a
preppy
whiter
white dude.
sounding name?
Oh,
Chad,
instead of a Karen?
Brad.
Oh, a
Yeah.
Brad.
Brad,
No, Brad.
Chad, Kyle,
No,
Tyler.
I thought a Brad was the dude who has the sweater vest tied around his. He's a
It's like
Brad.
the preppy white dudes that say
Yeah.
Spanish words like grassy ass.
Oh,
Yep.
or jalapenino.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tortilla.
Tortillas.
Yeah.
Quesadillas.
It's like the preppy white upper middle class rich people names. They always name their boys like the most boring fucking names ever. Or
That-
until you get too rich, and then they're naming their kids like Apple or like math equations. Um, White people a lot of times probably shouldn't be allowed to name people. Oh, dude, I just found out this girl. Well, she's a woman, but I call her a girl because she acts like one. Named her kid Harlequin.
oh.
Harley
As,
Quinn.
yeah, I was about to say, as in Harley
Mm-hmm.
Quinn, or as in ichthyosis, or
No. Harley Quinn.
Wait. So wait. Harley is first name, and then Quinn is
Mm-hmm.
middle name.
As a middle name.
Okay. Okay, that works. Because that'd be
Well, I think
odd.
it might be like two first names because down south we do that a lot, like Suzanne and
Susie Ann,
Marianne.
Louis Ann.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Anns and Sues and shit mixed in there.
Yeah, it's
But
always Anns and Sues. Why is it
it is.
always Anns and Sues?
I don't know. Half the white people I know are middle names are Marie and Elizabeth. Marie and Elizabeth. And that stands for my family too. We're all Maries and Elizabeths.
They
Like every
come
single
from a
one.
long line of English queens.
Just a lot of Marie, like weird ass first names, and then Marie's and Elizabeths.
For those of you who don't know that line that I just did, it's from the producers, the Nazi that writes the musical, and the producers is talking about Hitler, and he says Adolf Elizabeth Hitler. Elizabeth? Yes, he comes from a long line of English queens.
But yeah. I found that what out of everyone you could name your kid after, why that? Like I know someone who named their kid Jack Daniels, but like
Oh, I mean, I knew I had a buddy who
Were
had
they
a.
named after the substance that caused their conception?
It's better than the girl who is named Cadillac because that's where she was conceived.
I have a buddy who named his daughter after the princess from A Knight's Tale. Is because it was him and his wife's favorite movie. So
Yeah.
it's
I grew up with a family where they were named Coke, Pudding, and Jello.
I think at least two of those substances, the namers were imbibing in vast quantities.
Pudding and Jello were twins.
Disorder.
Pudding and Jello were twins. I had to ask, is that a nickname or is that on your birth certificate? They're like, it's on my birth certificate. Jello and Pudding, they're twins.
That should have been counted as child abuse.
So together, they're Jello Pudding.
Canada has their own problems, right?
If I got to choose, if I was being reincarnated and my choice was you could either be named Pudding or Jello, or you could be beaten like a dog, call me Rover.
I knew a girl named Stony Hill. And her sister's name was Mountain.
You're named beating me like a dog, or you have to be beaten like a dog?
You get beaten like a dog.
So the name is you get?
No. You are
like
physically getting beaten like a dog.
Oh, okay. Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew a Star Moon. I knew a Stony Mountain.
West Virginia.
Like people, when people name their kids, I'm like, you do realize these are going to be adults one day, right?
Yep.
Like,
no, they don't, and that's the problem.
They're going to be adults that now hate you.
Like, give your kid nicknames at home all you want to. They can go by that name as long as they want to. But when they go to fill out an application for a job, nobody wants to put down Puddin'. Mm-hmm. Like, or Jello. Or like even the Star Moon, people argued so much over if that was like her legal name, Star Moon. It's like, yeah. But part of that was her fault because she married in the moon. Oh. So I was like, see, you should have I planned that out a little better. And she's like, hey, half the reason I married him was because of the name. I thought it went well with my first one.
What happened to naming your children after I guess family members of old who did great things, or even historical figures, adding that to that?
I don't know. People just started naming their kids weird shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I named my kid after a tree, so I can't say a whole lot, but the other one's named after a grandparent.
Willow is an actual name, though.
Yeah, but when I named her Willow, there wasn't a lot of people that did Willow, so like she got a lot of. Does your parents watch a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah, you watched a lot of Magical Midgets.
Actually, that's why her father agreed to.
I knew you would get that.
Yeah, that's why her father agreed to the name, was because he really liked the movie Willow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I guess me and my siblings and I were named after biblical people, so I guess but I guess that's the Latinx in me.
I'm just glad that I didn't end up getting named Shasta, because that's what my mom was thinking about.
Oh.
The names, the three names that she picked from was Shasta, Polly, or Crystal. So
for Crystal Pepsi.
That wasn't around back then. I'm old.
I'm sure
maybe
it was
saw the
Shasta Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shasta was the cola. She just liked the name. Funny enough, when she found Okay, so my biological grandfather, big Native American slut. Apparently, he's trying to repopulate the country and his tribe by knocking up every woman that he saw while he was in the Navy.
What?
And yeah, and so he
No more
has.
endeavor.
Last time when I was 12 and we found him, he said he at count for now 32 kids had come and found him. So she met her sisters, and one of her sisters named her kid Shasta.
That's
And I
strange.
was just like, I know. I was like, really? Because not a lot of people name their kids Shasta. Like, that's a weird fucking name. Is it genetic? Like,
Okay, just out of curiosity, how would you spell it?
I have no idea. It's a soda drink,
the
and it's
core.
also apparently tractors because her sister named her kid after a tractor, not the soda.
Mm.
Is this so? It'd be named after the soda, or at
Yeah,
least the same spelling? Ooh, okay.
I was
yeah.
almost named Balaam.
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 Where does that come from?
It's a biblical name.
Wow, so they're digging deep for that one.
It's
Huh?
one of the unusual biblical names, but it's a biblical name.
Could you imagine somebody walking around like, "What's your name?" Ezekiel. Oh shit.
Yeah, no,
At
yeah.
least Ezekiel's one of the cool sounding names.
Yeah, it
Balaam
I
is.
did it.
Balaam
I did
sounds
it.
cool. It sounds cooler than Ezekiel.
I
Yeah,
did it at
because
Malachi.
if you were Ezekiel, you could go around and say, just call me Zeke.
Zeke, dude, no, hold on. Think about it. If you were born a good chunk before the Lord of the Rings started coming out,
Yep.
and you were
Balaam.
Balaam, and the Lord of the Rings comes out, dude, they're gonna be fucking sitting there like, oh wow, look at you, and you're like, yeah, you, but you be Balaam, Bay,
Nah, Balaam is god awful.
yeah.
Balaam sounds like I'm worried about the English.
I did it at Malachi when I was younger. That's a biblical name somewhere.
Yep.
Malachi.
Malachi. Also, you could get Mordecai's.
Yeah, met a Mordecai. He was Amish.
Mordecai is also one of those names, though, that if you want to go by something a bit cooler, you just say, call me Kai.
Yeah.
See, that's the only thing that like everybody else gets cool nicknames. I don't get a nickname. You can't really have a nickname with Adam.
Dumb.
Ah,
Well,
thank
I
you.
mean, it's either at or dumb. Like, you can't really.
I'll wait for Terry to fucking tell me that multiple times on Monday. Eesh.
Nah, don't you remember you already have a nickname that was given to you by Monkey?
What's that?
Adam.
Damn. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Adam.
Monkey just renamed everybody, didn't he?
Yeah. Normally by his inability to read or speak.
Like, apparently, I got Poppy because I reminded him of the Troll Doll movie.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even anything to do with my name. He's just like, you remind me of the pink troll doll. Your name is now Poppy. I'm like, okay. And that's why it's with a I-E, not a Y, because that's how you spell her name.
Mm-hmm.
He just went around renaming everyone.
Yep.
Well, that's what he does, you know.
I feel like I got hit by a truck today.
Any
I know how
particular
that feels
reason?
too.
Long day.
Just well, I don't work.
Long day at not work.
Yes. Well, like I said, I did all the floors in the house yesterday. We don't have carpet in most of the rooms, so I did all the floors. I did all the floors, and then my oven exploded, and then I cleaned up all the smoke from those, and I'm a chronically ill bitch, so I did too much in one day, and now I feel like death.
Fair enough. Are you feeling so run down that we should come to an end and let you go get some rest? It would only be a 30-minute or a 30-minute early end, so it isn't terrible.
I mean, I still have a little while. I'm used to. Half the time I've been on these shows, I've been in a lot of pain. I blatantly, I didn't mean to say it out loud. It just kind of popped out of my mouth.
Oh, no worries. If you need to tap out, I'm offering you the chance. It's not me going, oh, because you said this, now do we have to end Pop-Tart? God damn it.
No, I can stay on until Chris gets out of the shower.
Okay. Yeah, it was
he takes like an hour-long shower, so, I mean, you're good for a while.
And he's wearing some sort of clothes while he's taking that shower, right?
No, Chris is fine with being naked in his own room.
Oh goodness!
Chris is actually more strict, and he's more prudish than I am. Like so super prudish. He really is. Like it took him forever to get used to the fact that the girls would wear shorts.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing. Couples in the bathroom at the same time.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's got to be a comfortability thing, right?
Yeah. It depends on what you're doing in the bathroom. Like, if you're taking a shit, I'm not coming in the bathroom.
Yeah.
No, like you can't come in the bathroom when I am.
Yeah.
Like, no.
If you're taking a shower and somebody has to go in there and brush their teeth, it's like.
Yeah, or even just go pee real quick. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Cannibalistic, I'm not sure that's something you should admit in public, that you found that manga. Because then that leads to the questions. What on earth were you fucking looking for when you found that? Good God.
What?
Really, really weird manga.
Yeah, really fucking weird manga that he found.
You said cannibalistic?
Cannibalistic.
Yeah, wizard.
My dad who was.
Don't read it out loud.
Remember.
Sir? No. No.
Grandpa's.
No.
DK.
Oh my God.
Who? Wait, what?
No. You don't get away with just you were looking for a fantasy manga. You don't find that manga just looking for a fantasy manga.
Like, how far did you go through stuff to find that? Like,
that is not a normal fantasy manga. That is a very specific fantasy manga.
Oh no! I'm sorry, Blakester. At least you weren't not called Blake the Cornflake at school. Yeah, that sucks, dude. I'm sorry, man.
No, I did have the issue of when
a lot. Yeah.
I did get the issue of when Crystal Pepsi did come out. I was in school, and then everyone called me Pepsi for a long fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Annoyed the fuck out of me.
Crystal sounds like an X-Men name. I'm just thinking like, man, I'd be friends with
Crystals are all either fat bitches or strippers. There is no in between.
I guess, yeah.
No. Some of them might be fat strippers.
I mean, that's a possibility. But they usually change their name if they're going to be a stripper. Like, strippers rarely go by their real name.
Yeah, usually it's, changing it to
Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out that there might be a fat stripper named Crystal as well.
Yeah, and she could be Crystal Ball.
There are so many crystals, too.
And you can have... Oh, no. You ponder
okay.
Don't talk about her being suspended from the ceiling, Adam. For fuck's sake.
I didn't say it, but I might be imagining it.
No, like, my mom changed it to Crystal at the last minute because she thought she was being original. And then I ended up in a classroom with 9 other crystals.
Seriously?
Yeah, we were numbered. I was crystal number 3.
Okay, did some of you spell it with between
Yeah,
C and
some
K?
had a K, some had an I. So in classes where there's like three or something, usually it would be like Crystal with a C, Crystal with a K, Crystal with an I. But that one had multiple crystals with different spellings, but some of them were the same. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There was just too many crystals, and some of them shared the same spelling. So yeah, there's the crystals, which is annoying. I don't know what it was about my generations. There's a shit ton of Chris's, Crystals, Christinas.
And finding Junji Ito is fairly standard. His work is dark as hell, but it's fun and interesting. That still is a better find than the one that Cannibalistic was saying he found. For those who don't know, Junji Ito is a Japanese horror mangaka, manga producer, artist rather. His
I'm talking.
work is freaky as shit when you look at it.
I talked a lot of shit about people who named their kids weird shit, but if I had any more kids, I would have named them like Coraline and Marceline. So, I
At
just thought
least
about that.
those are names.
Well, Coraline's a weird one, and it is based off solely the fact that I really like the movie and the book.
Yeah,
So,
but it's still a name. It's not
yeah,
like
it's better than pudding.
Yeah, I don't see
it's
anything wrong with it. I mean,
yeah.
And
I'm okay
Marceline,
with
I just think is a really good older name that needs to come back.
I'm okay with weird names as long as they're names and not just were you looking around the room when you had the child and the
Well, a
first
lot
three objects became their name? What the
of
fuck's going on with this?
apparently multiple pregnant women have named their kids the stuff they were craving while they were pregnant. So like brownie and pudding and Coca-Cola and shit like that. Um, I couldn't do that because it would have been like chocolate milk, chalupa, and burger. None of
You
those would
know
make cute names.
Burger's a little chromosome smuggler.
Because like literally with Willow is chocolate milk and ramen. The middle one was chicken chalupas from Taco Bell, and Willow was our my youngest Angel was just hamburgers all the damn time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a bad way of naming things. Go for
It is
actual people names.
right. I still love listening to what like celebrities name their kids because like some of them do fairly normal, and then some of them are just fucking off the wall, and you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you hear their names and you're going, okay, you better hope that they're a successful celebrity because
Right?
if
Because they're not
not, you just fucked them.
like, how are you gonna get an job with like a fucking math equation as a name, or blanket,
Yep.
basket? People like seriously, people got to remember when they're naming children. Eventually, they're going to be adults with adult lives, and naming your kid Tic Tac was not. It was cute when they were newborn. It's not as cute when they're 42.
Yeah. Name something. Name your children something that won't make your children hate you.
Or
It
make
seems
them
an
change
easy
their
rule.
name.
Yeah.
Or make them change their name when they're adults.
Yeah, if I had to change my name, I'd be pissed. If you give me a name
That's just
that I
expensive.
hate, I would hate you. This is the way that it works. If you burdened me with a shit name, I'm going to dislike you.
I mean that's kind of part of the plan though of the destruction of the family unit. Ugh. Okay, here comes my tinfoil hat. No, yeah, that's kind of where it's at, you know. Let them destroy themselves with this negative view. And why? Hey, I'm gonna name you something that's gonna make you goofy. later on in
Mhm.
your life, and
I
you're
mean,
gonna
even
deal with it.
also just going through school, kids will make fun of regular names. Like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
my name was a very basic name that was around big time back in the like 80s and 90s, but I
Mhm.
still got made fun of for it. So
But you
if you're
don't.
giving your kid a name that you know people are going to make fun of, little kids are cruel as fuck.
But you
Yep.
don't have to make it easy on them.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like if you name your kid Apple, you know they're going to be picked on.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna be picked on.
like
How's your brother? Peanut butter.
right? Or like I said, that family of pudding and Jello. They got made fun of constantly. I went to junior
As
high
they
with them.
fucking should have. They're named Pudding and Jello. You
Right?
need to make fun of Pudding and Jello.
Just like the like really bad names. And your kids are gonna get fucked with, and by the time they're adults, they're gonna be very hard to employ because nobody's gonna believe them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like if you thought it out far enough to get pregnant and choose to have a kid, just put more than like 10 minutes into naming it. Like,
Yeah.
god damn it.
If you want a unique sounding name, look at other cultures' names.
Yeah. Or like old timey names that aren't really used anymore.
Yeah, look for old names. Look at the names of gods and goddesses from other cultures. Look at the names of heroes from other cultures. Look at other cultures' names in general. Because if you're an American and you have a child, having your daughter named Aoife, for example, Aoife's a very pretty name. Aoife's an Irish name. The number of Aoifes in the US are vanishingly few. Name them Ashling. Name them. Pick a name from another culture that you like the sound of.
Or
Kana.
even just like
It's
an
a
old one.
Japanese name.
Even an old one from here, like Josiah. You don't hear about that very much anymore. Josiah, you don't hear that name a lot. But it's a normal name.
Yeah.
Or like Malachi, or those kind of names. Like I don't know. People just like you could pick an unusual name that's not super popular without naming your kid like Thumbtack.
Yeah. Don't go, well, what should we name our son? Well, our son's name is now going to be Quarter Baking Sheet. What?
Right. Or like the people who I'm sorry, I know you said go to other cultures, but the people who name their kids after anime characters, that's mean. They're gonna be tortured. Don't do that.
See, it depends
Especially
on
the
what
Dragon Ball Z
the.
ones, because that's just vegetables. You're
Yeah,
naming your kid
that's what I was
vegetables.
about to say. It depends on which ones you go to. Because if you have a daughter and you name them Kana, Kana is a very pretty sounding name. It's not going to be something that is a name that they're going to go, I fucking hate this. But if you name them Bulma, yeah, they're probably going to fucking hate you.
Yeah.
Well, even worse is you name him Goku, and
Right.
he
Yep.
becomes a very slothy type character, and all of a sudden it's like, yo, yeah, the complete opposite of a Goku,
Yep.
you know? Yeah, I mean,
Or like
but I wouldn't do that
sadly,
even like calling him Caesars.
sadly, there's a lot of people like women who name their daughters Renesmee off of the Twilight shit.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they did, didn't they?
And they did do that. Yeah. Now Renesmees are going to school.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next time I go to the hospital, I'll be like, "Hey, am I glowing? I'm not a Fed, but am I glowing? Oh, waka
Nice.
waka.
Oh
I
yeah.
think that was a third bomb of the evening that I did. Maybe the fourth.
Y'all want to hear how I broke my toe? It's weird.
Go for
Okay, so I was cleaning up, and I opened one of my I opened our tea cabinet, and yes, I have a whole cabinet full of like teas and sweeteners and shit. And I opened it up, and a honey bottle that like got fluffed out fell out and slammed me in my toe, right, like the corner of the lid landed right on like where my toe and my foot attached to each other.
And
And
that burst
somehow
your
that,
Wait,
toe?
what?
yeah, it did. And it's like the whole toe is like totally black now.
Are you made of glass?
What the fuck?
I don't know how it happened. Dude, my feet break all the time. And like I said, chronically ill
Yeah,
bitch.
like I said, are your bones made of glass? How the fuck
Just
does
my
that
feet,
break your foot?
apparently. I don't know. That's why it's weird.
Because I had,
That's not normal. Is that normal?
you know, the large brown glass 4-liter bottles that they use in laboratories and shit like that?
Yeah.
I had one of those. I had just filled the motherfucker. It fell off the cart that I was using to take it back to where I was placing it at the instrument that it needed to go on. It
Yeah.
fell off. I tried to catch it. Instead of catching it, I just spiked it. And I spiked it directly so that the cap of the bottle slammed into the side of my foot right above my arch.
Were you barefoot?
No, I was wearing just normal shoes. I was at work.
Oh, okay. So, like, yeah, no shoe should protect it.
And I spiked it hard enough that the bottle just completely fucking exploded on my foot. No damage, but you had a honey bottle fall on your foot. Broken toe.
I was barefoot. You weren't.
Yeah, my bottle weighed like 6, 7 times as much.
Well, now you know why Chris doesn't like me to leave the house.
And it was also spiked, not just fell, but I slapped that shit at my foot.
Yeah, I never actually talk about like what's wrong with me, but it's like I have a connective tissue thing. So like I get like dislocated limbs constantly and break shit, and
Mm-hmm.
my hip this but the dog hit me in the back of the leg when I stood up off the bed and I dislocated my hip like 3 days ago. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And she got in trouble for that because she knows that she can do that. Like just hit me hard enough in the leg and like my knee will pop out of joint.
That's fucked.
Yeah, so whenever she's being pissy with me or she's trying to steal the food I'm holding, she just slams into my leg really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's a dickhead. She's over here rolling over trying to look cute right now.
And they've been tossing out various names in chat. Ethel, Gertrude, Yuki. Yuki's a
Goku.
fairly nice name. Yuki isn't
Yeah,
one that would get people to hate you.
well, I mean, you know what? Like, but it's always like the whitest people naming their kid shit like this, though, because like little Goku is going to school and he should be named Kyle. Uh, he's always,
Whatever you do, don't give them a hyphenated name and have the first one Zig.
Mm-hmm.
or like a fucking Deku's a new name that they're doing now because of what's that
My
stupid show
Hero
called?
Academia.
Yeah, there's Deku's being born, and they're all like the whitest kids you'll ever meet, and so, and it's just like, oh, your parents were weebs, okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine with liking anime. I watch anime. Chris has watched anime, but when you're like so into it, you're naming your kids it. I think it's a problem. Everybody has the right to do whatever they want, I guess, but yeah.
Like I said, pick one of the names that won't make your child hate you.
Yeah.
Give them a name that sounds normal-ish. It's a different name, but it still sounds like something that when you hear, oh yeah, that's their name, you're going, oh, okay. Like Yuki, like I said, it's not a normal name in the US, but is anyone really going to go, you named your child Yuki? No, they're just going to go, oh, Yuki, nice name, and continue on.
You know, yeah, that kind of makes Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the normal enough criteria, to my mind. If you name your child something that is normal enough, you're good to go. It's when you start going weird shit that causes issues. Like when I said, look at the gods of other cultures, I'm not saying go and name your child Quetzalcoatl. No, that doesn't fucking work. Don't name your child Quetzalcoatl.
Like Athena.
Yeah,
Well,
name them
Like
like
Athena.
Athena or Briet. Briet's a very pretty sounding name.
I don't know.
It's
There might be
okay.
some deities that you can swing by where the person reading the application might not understand what they're reading. So, but yeah, no, yeah, you see Quetzalcoatl and you're like, yeah, this guy's gonna fucking the first instance that somebody says, hey, I smell burritos. All of a sudden there's HR department fucking issues, and
Yep.
we don't need this
Damn
shit.
it. I was about to say something and then I can't think of the fucking word.
Uh oh.
Uh,
Sorry.
damn it. No, there's okay, I can't think of how to say it correctly. My brain won't let me translate it to English. So okay, so it's a this woman was at a park and she heard this woman calling for her son, and that thing where you want to fuck your mother. What is that called?
Oh, the Oedipal
Oedipus.
complex.
Oedip- yeah.
Oedipus. She named her son Oedipus,
Oh,
Yep.
she was waiting for it.
and
She knew what
the
she was
woman
doing.
the woman doing the TikTok is like, "Do you think she knows what that is, or did she just think it was a nice name?"
Yep.
Okay, at the same end, at this time, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of stupid people roaming around, so
Yeah, because like
they may
there's
not
people naming their
fully
kids after
understand what.
concentration camps,
Yeah, well,
but they don't know that's what
I'm
it is.
just tossing that ball out there. There
Yeah, no,
are
there's a lot of people. I agree. There's a lot of people who just hear words and think they're pretty. Like I heard a story where a woman named her kid after one of the concentration camps, but she didn't know it was a concentration camp. She just heard the word once and liked it.
Which one did she name him? Birkenau?
No, no, no. I think it
Did
started
she
with a
even
T.
know Birkenau? Did she even Birkenau? Oh, that was.
But
What?
I,
also,
I'm sorry.
the son that
I
was
think
named Oedipus, I really hope that when he has children, if he has children, he doesn't name his daughter Electra. That's
oh
when you
Lord.
have to start wondering about the family.
People really need to Google words before they use them as names.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like just simple Google search. You save the whole naming your kid after a concentration camp or like, a story where incest is all about. You know, you just figure out what your name like we keep going back to the naming kids thing, but it's a problem nowadays. Problem.
But
Yeah,
what do you
so
expect from
Xander
a generation where you can't even cook with tits? Just to wrap it all up again.
Look, this
come
is
back to the booth.
this is how we got here. Is because people are saying, "Hey, hang your tits up before you start cooking," and Chick-fil-A is bullshit. This is where we're at. I don't know. I fucking lost
And
sleep.
goddammit, cannibalistic. In Pokemon, he renamed Ashawat Auschwitz.
Oh shit.
But yeah, Alexander is a fantastic name because you can go for Alex, you can go for Xander, you can go for a bunch of different names with
Zan.
Alexander.
Ah,
Yeah,
right. Because it's Alexander the Great, the Macedonian, who
yeah.
went from Macedonia all the way to India. Yeah, that's why Alexander is so versatile. And you know what?
Sorry.
But the thing is that as impressive as he made such a short-lived empire.
Well, yeah, a harsh march back. Yeah, no, he's
That is always the thing that there's different types of really impressive leaders. The leaders to me that are the most impressive are the ones that make something that lasts. So while what Alexander the Great did was fucking amazing, at the same time, the fact that once he died, effectively it was torn apart immediately
Yeah, pretty quickly.
lessens the accomplishment to my mind. Whereas if you have a leader that does something ridiculously impressive and then it just keeps on going, that is really fucking cool.
You stopped talking and my dog got confused.
Like,
Yeah.
to me,
Hey,
Washington is more impressive than Alexander because they both did ridiculous feats. Alexander conquered a massive amount of land. Washington fought against the strongest military in the world and won. Alexander's empire collapsed immediately upon his death. We're still living in the result of Washington's work. That's impressive as hell.
You know who's better?
Who?
Why, the great Genghis Khan.
yeah, I thought about that. He had a shit ton of kids, like half the population is related to him somehow.
Yeah. He has a legacy that's a very interesting legacy, given his empire, it lasted a decent amount of time. His real result, though, was just how many fucking kids he ended up siring.
Yeah.
That's his indelible mark upon the world.
I think the show's starting to die out a bit. We keep having these quiet pauses.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I
Do
think
you want to feel okay. Okay. Um here's the last bolt of lightning into the show, right?
Hmm.
okay.
Did any of you hear about the high police uh action around a Miami mall?
I've heard clippets about it, yeah.
I have
They're
not.
saying it was, oh, dude, like that's, I'm on TikTok and everyone shits on me for it, but yeah, they had videos like there were hundreds and hundreds of thousands of police all going down the highway towards the mall and like blocking the mall off
Yep.
and stuff. They said it was teenagers with fireworks in the mall, but they had like helicopters flying around. They turned off the electricity in the area. Police
Yeah.
scanners were down.
Internet was down as well. There's people who were okay. Yeah, 100% Poppy. Um, and I guess TikTok is the only place you can find it because you can't really find this stuff on YouTube so
Yeah.
much. Um,
And that's one
maybe
of the reasons I like TikTok because they will talk about shit you're not supposed to.
yeah,
Like you can't find that shit anywhere. They're over here like, hey, like in Louisiana, they found 250 people buried behind the jail there. That aren't supposed to be there. Like one guy got hit by a cop car, and the cops just buried him out there, and his family's been looking for him.
oh shit.
There are 250 people not supposed to be there. A lot of them are missing people that are on missing people reports. And they're trying to figure out, hey, how did all these people show up here in this graveyard behind this jail?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knew about it, apparently.
I mean,
So,
it's
yeah.
one of those mysteries that goes into a lot of the uh it goes into the folder of yeah, a lot of shit's going on that's not being reported. And
A lot of it.
Finally, we have avenues where we can see it, and yeah, with the stuff going on in Miami, yeah, it's just weird. But the tinfoil hat that I want to go into is yeah, there was reports of 8 foot or 10 foot tall creatures.
Yeah. Yeah, people are coming out with some crazy shit. And I don't know if it's just because it was locked down and nobody knows what happens, or if somebody is saying they saw like an 8 foot, thing roaming around the mall. But like since there's no proof, I'm not going to. I mean,
Well,
it is a weird situation. If it's just kids with fireworks, why are you sending
that much
thousands of
police
cops and
force.
SWAT
Yeah,
teams
you
and
saw the videos.
helicopters?
You saw the videos.
Yeah,
They
that was a
closed
lot.
that shit out, and there was people.
They were blocking out the highways and shit.
Yeah, and when they shut down power and internet connection, it's like okay, there's
Yeah.
something weird. And but okay, it's
Even the police radios. The police
yeah,
radios were cut
they
off.
turned out. Oh wow, Poppy, you know what? Lord have mercy. I
Like
cannot believe
I've never seen that where police
where they
radios
turned down the
they
police radios.
for
Yeah,
4 hours. Four
and
hours
they
they were
closed
down.
down
The police
they
could
closed
not
down
contact
airspace.
anyone.
They closed down airspace.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's more than just kids playing with fireworks because if that's true, then why would you need to shut down the police,
And and o- and okay,
communication?
you can toss it off the alien thing, and not even alien, like
When
eh,
you say that they turned off the radios, do you mean that they went from their
they
normal
no
broadcast
the
to
yeah,
an
like
emergency
a
channel?
very secret. You usually you can collect the police radio scans.
Yeah,
Uh,
which is on the wide channel. Then they have typically, so the prisons have this as well, where you have the main channel and then you have the emergency channels.
Yeah, they may have switched over to emergency channels. I'm not sure, but that like the normal talking over the radio they do from like their cars and stuff, all of that was completely shut down. Like none of them could use it.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, it uh and in okay, two things I want to say real quick. One, the term of alien, I get that people. It's it. We're getting into the tinfoil hat type thing, the conspiracy theory. Like it's a terminology that's used to weaponize against other fucking viewpoints. So when people are tossing out aliens, you know, 8 to 10 foot creatures. We don't know if it's aliens. It could be, some fucking mutant creature. We don't know what it is. But there was a lot of fucking police out there. They blocked out a lot of shit, and that's what's happening out there. Alongside the shit that's going on in New York, and in DC, it had uh, earthquakes as well. Funky shit, weird shit is going on, and I just can't sit there and say, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's swamp gas and well, let
Oh,
alone fucking North Korea and South Korea starting shooting nukes, but damn, no, see,
Well, North Korea has been trying to do its testing for
no,
ages.
they're doing it now. They're
Yeah.
shooting fire missiles right now in at an island right off of the peninsula. Even China's
oh,
telling them to knock it off.
Yep.
did y'all see the volcano in Greenland? Or is it Green? Yeah, it's Greenland.
Is it still going off?
Yeah, it's not as pretty as it was at first though. That shit was beautiful. It was a giant crack with like lava shooting up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful. I love that I could see stuff like that on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Back in my day, we used to have to wait for a nature documentary to show up like 6 months later to see
Back in my day.
it. I know I'm only 40, but in internet years, that's like 2000. But yeah, no, I get what you mean though. There is a lot of weird shit happening and explosions, and I don't know. My point of view is weird shit's always happened. It's just we didn't know about it so much back in the day, you know. Like I think
That's
weird
kind of
shit like
where
this
I
has
am.
always been happening.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that's kind of where I am. That
that's the mindset that got us to this, because no, this hasn't really happened. Like a lot of
Well,
the
I mean, if
stuff you
nobody else
no
was
no no
reporting
no
on
no
it, how would you
no no
know?
you can't point me to a point back in the day where this stuff has happened like this outside of the world wars. Like
But like,
we're already seeing ships being uh attacked in the Red Sea, shipping lanes being like we're seeing buildups of war. So if you want to look
oh
at
yeah,
timelines
war,
of
yeah,
that, yeah, that
yeah, we're
we're seeing
definitely.
that. But the outside parts where it's the weird oddball things, like the Miami thing,
I
it's
think
like,
that
yeah,
shit
we
always
haven't
happened.
seen that before.
No, we haven't seen it because people don't report on it. But now we have things on the internet. People can just record it
You
and put it
you
out
that
there.
that's a respectable response 20 years ago.
Because, like you said yourself, it
No,
shows
no,
you
no,
that
no,
people
no, no,
aren't reporting to you.
no, no, no. Both okay. Both in Maui, when the fire happened, right after it,
Yeah,
you don't hear anything
yeah,
of it because people were silenced from it. The same thing in
yeah,
Miami, we're getting reports that people are being silenced about it. You
yeah.
don't see that before. This is what I'm saying. Like
Well,
I
she's
get
saying
But
it's
if
that,
it's
people
not
were
a
being
it's not a
silenced,
random thing. It's not a random thing. Look,
but if
I
she's
people were being silenced, how do you know that it wasn't happening before?
and that what she's saying is that they were being silenced before,
yes.
but it was actually effective before, and now it's by the time
Shit.
that they get to silencing people, it's already gotten out.
Yeah, it's the
Which
stuff is
that's
so
the
fast
difference.
now. Yeah, stuff is so fast now, and it's so hard to take down once it spreads around the internet that it's hard to just erase everything like they used to. There was shit that's always gone down that was weird, and then all of a sudden you couldn't find anything on it.
Okay.
That's been
Okay. Oh,
happening
no,
my
no,
whole
no.
life.
I get what you're saying, but so are you just so that's all it is?
I mean, I'm sure I can't tell you what it is. Like you said, it could be aliens, it could be people from a different dimension, it could be something that's always been around, but we're just not supposed to know about. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I don't think this is a new phenomenon. There's stories all throughout history of like whole civilizations disappearing, or like fucking. If you look back through history, people call it mythos, or just fairy tales and shit, or just uh, urban legends. We've always had this shit all throughout time. It's just now when weird shit happens, you can get it out in like 2 seconds before anybody can stop you. And it's harder to be like, well, this is all fake, this is all lies, nowadays because people can show you immediately.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
it's the difference between it being a new thing and it being just more widely reported.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing on with you that there's weird shit happening. I don't think it's new. I think weird shit has happened all throughout time, and it's just very well tucked away where it doesn't affect people's day to day normal lives because they don't want people to get out of the norm of going to work and doing that. Like if we felt like Armageddon was going to happen any second, who's going to work tomorrow? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would fuck up the day to day life, the whole infrastructure of how everything works. If people were like, aliens are going to come down and kill us all tomorrow, nobody's going to work. Like,
Well, what would you do if you're at work and you hear the news broadcast and it's aliens are coming down?
well, I mean, while you're at work, there's not really a lot you can do. It's just like, people ask, what do you do in this situation where like a nuke's going off? You die. It's just, You lay on the ground and hope you don't blow up. Like, there's not much you can do. If aliens are coming down right now and they're killing everybody, then you either fight or die. That's your only options, whether you're at work or whether you're at home.
Hmm.
If the asteroid's hitting the planet in 5 seconds, what are you going to do? Nothing. You're just going to stand there until you die.
If I'm at work, I grab the most interesting chemicals and I see what happens.
Like, I mean, I probably have too much of a blasé trait about that. Like, just like, if we're gonna die, we're gonna die. But I grew up in Texas. We're kind of taught from a very young age, you might die at any second. Just accept that. That's why people drive 120 on the highway. We know it's gonna kill us, but we're all gonna die at some point. It's just we're very blasé about the fact that you could get shot in the head, right? I could get shot in the head right now. Bullets come through here occasionally. It's just, it just is what it is. If the crazy shit comes, it's gonna come. I'm either gonna live through it or I'm gonna die. Either way, I'll roll with it as it happens. So I mean, if there's a crazy monster on the loose, we'll deal with it as it shows up, I guess.
But it is getting to be that time. Shall we go for parting words?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'm sorry, Adam. I kind of ruined your fun conversation.
No, actually, I had no idea where the conversation was going. I think you saved it. Because
I feel like you seem like you kind of like I put you in a down mood after that.
no, because I was like, oh shit, I read off the rails, and where am I going with this? Oh my god! But then you
Kept
topped it
talking.
off pretty nice. So
Okay,
Yeah,
that's my parting words.
Poppy knew what was happening there because, like I said, I haven't seen anything. I haven't been paying attention to anything today. I've just been dicking around, cooking most of the time that I've been awake. Enjoying my last day off of the week. So, her knowing what you were talking about was actually helpful.
Yay, I'm on TikTok too much. It's useful finally.
well,
okay.
yeah, no. For parting words, Poppy, I'd give you the floor.
That was my parting words. I'm sorry if I fucked up your conversation.
Oh shit.
That's pretty much my parting words should be every time because of my joyous ADHD. I tend to just kind of run on. So I'm sorry if I fucked up anyone's conversations.
Oh. Well, I mean, nothing like to say to the audience that enjoyed the conversation that they are witnessed.
Have a good night. I don't know. I'm not good at this.
There you go, folks.
Fair enough. How about you, Adam?
Well, Sanguine, I always enjoy your invite for hanging me out with having me hanging out with you at the show.
Where did I hang you out? When did I hang you out?
At high noon. Possibly.
Did you get wet? What happened? Why did you need to be
God.
hung out? Did you get hung out?
This is gonna be the longest parting words ever.
That could be a wet.
Because why else would I hang you out unless I'm hanging out to dry? Duh.
Well, we won't go into all that.
But I want to thank the both of you, Poppy and Sanguine, for the very enjoyable conversations that we had today or this evening. I don't want to thank chat because you guys give me stress and you also give me happiness. So God bless you. But for everybody else, I love you all and God bless.
Copy that. And I'll leave off with mercy to the guilty is cruelty to the innocent. And with that, have a good night, all. The zoo is closed.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Now I click this button and it takes a couple moments.